Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out looking for treasure. Today, what I've got is a jewelry bag. For those who haven't been watching my channel for a bit, I got quite a few of these, and they are very random. Not entirely sure what's going to be in these. Generally, jewelry bags are... like, thrift shops can often get overwhelmed with stuff. And things that are, maybe jewelry or jewelry adjacent or jewelry like, it just gets to be too much. So they end up in a bag like this or a jar, and they can be used for crafting. Oftentimes they consist of things that are broken, but they can also just be like, we've got too much stuff and we're not sure what to do with something. They can be a wonderful source of finding little bits of gold or like sterling, little bits of sterling here and there. Primarily what they're for, though, is for anyone who likes to craft, because these things are just chock full of stuff for repurposing. Now, what I'm going to do in this video, like I do with all of these videos, is just go through it. I'll explain sort of what I'm what I'm looking at, what I'm doing, what I'm grabbing. These are interesting. Now, I see this and I see this was $7, but there's an oddity here in that we have like 3 different earring backs. These look like they're clearly not anything, but these are interesting. So the first thing that attracted me is these are a little smaller. They look slightly better made. So let's just check it with the magnet. Doesn't react to the magnet. So why don't we just have a little closer look. See if we have any mark. Oh yeah, look at that. See the 925 right there? Itsy bitsy. That's what it says, right? 925. Let me look with the loop real quick. Yeah, 925. So right off the bat, we've got something interesting here. It's probably a pretty dang good lesson, because here we have a 925 earring with a nice little stone pair on a card, and I'm going to, and you jewelry folks can tell me if this is incorrect, but I always like to pair them like this for my own so they don't get lost. Yeah, so obviously the rest of the card is these aren't anything, at least I don't think they're anything. They don't look like anything, but we did get some silver right off the bat. And that is a good lesson for not disregarding things necessarily. Like here, I was about to disregard these, but they don't seem to be reacting to the magnet. And we know that there's been silver on this card. These could be silver. Let's just double check one of these here real quick. That doesn't look, yeah, I don't think this is anything, but it's got some writing. So let's have a look at it. Stodex. Yeah, I don't think that is anything. Just plated brass. But I am going to toss this into my paired earring bag. As we go through and sort this stuff, I'm going to attempt to do some sorting so that whoever down the line gets the craft stuff doesn't have to like resort everything. Are those are literally the biggest earrings on earth. All right, into the paired earring bag you go. So as I go through this, if you have questions about like anything I'm looking at, we can always just leave a comment with a timestamp, and we can see if I can answer whatever your question is. Whole mess in all of this stuff that I've been getting of these homemade earrings. So those are all going in the paired earring bag. When I sort one of these out, my general methodology is to sort of pull out the big stuff first. Ooh. And then we can get down to the little stuff. Usually these things don't have like big gold in them. Usually these things have like little bits of gold. They're kind of interesting keys. It's like somebody cut them out. Weird. So I like to get like the bigger stuff out of the way and, you know, double check what's what. This is, well, that's interesting. All right, I say this is interesting because it looks like it's got like a bit of tarnish going on in there, maybe? Like silver tarnish? Yeah, right there, that little black bit. I don't know. But it also looks like a pipe that was just cut. Kind of rough. Huh. No, it looks like it's a seam. So one of the things that'll happen around here sometimes is we've got a really good jewelry school at the nearby community college. And sometimes we end up with like little pieces of jewelry. That could be silver. I'm going to put that aside here, and we will test that at the end of the video. Speaking of could be silver, this looks good. And it is not. It is not good. Nice little contrast. I think I'm going to put that into the bag for possible bolo making. What do we have here? This is a locket. Not the worst locket. Not the best locket. Definitely not a precious metal, but you know what? We'll set that aside. Bet somebody's going to want that. Oh, that's interesting. It's just silver plate by the looks of it. You can see where the copper's coming through right there. Odd little piece, though. Hey, a pulley. You know what? That's going to go somewhere else because that's hardware. That'll go out to my garage. All right. What else we have? A little angel token. Here we have a watch. What does it say? That says Nilo Deluxe. 21 waterproof anti-magnetic. Doesn't look like it's going to be a precious metal though. This kind of bail where it's just like that. Those are generally indicative of lower quality. But you know what? We'll put that somewhere because it is a watch. So we can at least segregate that into a watch area. All right, let's get some of these necklaces dealt with. This is just plastic. I can feel it's just plastic beads. Oh, those are going to be good for repurposing, looks like. They're missing stones, sadly. But I have a bucket of nicer repurposing stuff. Oh, interesting. One of the reasons that these things end up existing is just how incredibly tangled up all this stuff gets. Somebody did some beading there. And after a while, it can just get a little bit overwhelming, I think. Oh, look at that. That's cool. some kind of plastic that's carved out. Looks like maybe carved out. I think that would make a great bolo. I think that might be horn. We'll see if there's a match for that one, shall we? But yeah, I mean, you just end up with, especially with the chains and these like these earrings that have the hooks, they just get to be like a major mess. That's kind of cool, but looks like it's very broken. Good for repurposing. Okay. See if we can get this out of here. That is quite the necklace. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that necklace. Let's see, who made it? It says Chico's. All right, I'm going to set that one aside just because it's kind of nice. That is a lot of copper chain. It says fashion jewelry. That's cool. If there's another one of those, I'm going to set that one aside. St. Bridget, pray for us. But you know what we got right here? It's got the look, and it's got the mark. Sterling. St. Patrick and St. Bridget. Most of these little medals that I find like these Catholic medals, they're not actually sterling, so that's pretty cool. We'll put that over in our sterling pile. Keep in mind this was also half off day when I bought this, so everything you're looking at was $5. So this was a $5 bag, or some of these were $15, so it might be $7.50. But I think this one was one of the $5 bags. Most of them were $5 bags. Brass. Now keep in mind these come in gold, so double check them. You'll find the sterling ones more often than the gold ones, though. All right, let's just keep going. What was this? Is this a... What? Why? What is... Who? What kind of mod? What is this? Is this a... Is this a bracelet? Yeah, it's a broken bracelet. That looks super, well, maybe not uncomfortable. I don't know. Definitely not a precious metal. Warner Brothers Chevy Venture keychain. Wow, look at that. That's quite the necklace. Needs some love. It's a good kiddo necklace. Yeah, so you're noticing a lot of broken chains, a lot of broken stuff in here. As I throw things around. Oh, so this just got tossed, but you know what? I'm glad I chose to fetch it because I think might be sterling. Find these little things like this often are. So you check it with your magnet. And then, if it is sterling, it will be marked right there, 925. All right, more sterling. for you precious metal hunters, keep in mind, Bolo, that if you find precious metals in one of these things, generally it's going to be like that. You're going to find little dribs and drabs. Now, obviously, a little drib and drab of gold can really add up, but a little drib and drab of silver is less so. That's a pretty good bracelet. You know what? That's going to go into a... Yeah. That one, I bet, will be repurposed very nicely by Allison. All right, so I don't think this is gold because it's got kind of a problematic look to it. It looks like it's plated, but it isn't reacting to the magnet. You saw me take off the backer. But what I like about it is that the wire, the stud, is the same color as everything else. So we'll just check real quick, see if it has a marking. It doesn't, and it does not have the look of gold. So we're not looking at gold. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, all you crafters are probably screaming at me, "Give it to me! I want the beads! All the beads!" Because there are some serious beads going on here, aren't there? That's kind of interesting. When something doesn't react to the magnet, it doesn't mean that you've got a precious metal, but it does mean you want to just slow down for a moment. Just have a double check, see, because sometimes the reason that stuff gets into this is because it doesn't look like it was valuable, or, well, sometimes it's just because whoever's sorting it is pretty burned out. But usually it means that it's just doesn't look valuable. So if it's something, oh, there's a bolo, something that you would probably like just dismiss out of hand by the look, the magnet can tell you, no, take a second look at it. You're looking at something that someone else has already dismissed for some reason or another. And what you should do is you should be double checking things, because that's really what you're doing here. Usually you're double checking someone else's work. This chain's kind of interesting. It doesn't feel like a precious metal. It feels really light, and it's got a really old clasp. I don't quite understand what's going on with that. I think it's like an aluminum chain that somebody put an older clasp on for some reason. Look at that. Clearly plate, you can see there. That gets tossed into men's jewelry. Oh, put little pictures in them. It's definitely going to be good for some crafter down the road. Let's grab some bigger stuff that we know isn't going to be anything, but look at how stuff just gets totally tangled up. You always want to double check what you're looking at here. Clearly plate, clearly plate. I see a marking there. What do I see? What does that say? Oh, I forget what her name is. San Francisco, though. We're going to set that one aside, and hopefully we find the other ones somewhere. When it comes to the jewelry jars too, I usually tell people that the best ones for me are the ones that are like this, which are just chock full of little bric-a-brac. Mostly because if you're going to get like precious metal, and you know, I'm looking for precious metals, that's kind of my jam, you're probably going to get it in the form of something like this. Itsy bitsy little bit of sterling. I think we're looking at sterling here, right? Got any markings? I don't see any markings, but I don't see how this could be anything other than sterling. All right, we're going to put that into our probably sterling pile. Speaking of probably sterling, these little guys are a good source of gold and sterling. Now, that's not to say that these are always a precious metal. Sometimes you'll find these that are not. I think last video it was not, but they'll be marked usually on the wire. Yeah, right there. Can we read it on this? 925. A little bit of sterling. All the little bits add up. All right, let's see. What's time? Okay. Oh, that's going to see some new life. Maybe. Oh, that's cool. Space shuttle. That goes in our cool stuff pile. Oh, look at that. This thing's magnetic. Why is this thing? Oh. Cool. Well, we're going to put that over here. Just costume by the looks of it, but I can see that getting turned into something nicer. That one looks like it's a Monet. Nice costume jewelry maker. I'm going to set that one aside in case we someday come across its mate. Denver 93. Oh, another bolo. That's cool. Cousins Reunion 2005. Piece of plastic. I think that makes a bolo. I think that makes a bolo. Hairbret, not silver. Red hat. Oh, that's cool. We're going to hope we find the other one of those. It's quite the tangle here. Yeah. Wrong shine, not seeing anything that looks like silver. Yep. All right. Let's see if we can't. Does that say something on it? No, I don't think so. It certainly doesn't feel right for gold. No, you can see where the plate's coming through. But you always want to trust your instincts and pause when you think you should pause, because that's how you find the good stuff. Oh, speaking of which, that's got a real silver look to it, doesn't it? I'm going to set that up here. Grab it in a sec. No, the back certainly isn't. Does it react to the magnet? Oh, you react to the magnet. It does not. Looks like it's maybe like abalone. Oh, there it is. $9.25. Cool. Another little chunk of silver. Speaking of a little chunk of silver, look at this. That what? I'm confused. It's a goat fish with an udder? I think the S over S means sterling silver. Okay. You get to go into our silver pile because you're silver, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on with you. But, you know, that's the whole fun of this. Like, you never know what on earth you're going to find. That looks like a piece of brass. And that is just fun, right? I never thought anyone would make a weird goat mermaid thing. That's a cool bead. I wonder if other goat mermaid thing is in here. Oh. This could be something. Maybe. I found a lot of these lately that are made out of titanium, but that this design is also frequently something you'll see made out of a precious metal. In this case, we're looking at titanium. It'll tell you if it's silver. Also, it will look different if it's silver, even if it's rhodium plated. Grab some of the bigger stuff out of here. seeing as we're going to end up with any gold in this one. But usually if you find gold in something like this, it's really when you get down to the bottom. Because the only gold you'll pretty much ever find in one of these, now, never say never. I did find a gold watch in one of these. But pretty much the only gold you'll find will be like the earring backers. Maybe a little earring stud. The last one had a pretty big earring, which was cool. You know what? That's in there somewhere. All right, got those paired up. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. So when you get down to this point, this is when you want to definitely be looking harder at whatever's left. Because this is where most of your silver or gold will end up being. Oh, there's the other one of that. There's a lot of actual pairs in all this stuff. Hey, there's the other one of that. Cool. That's kind of interesting. Put that in the better stuff pile. Okay, we are down to the end, my friends. Nope. And it looks like we've got all the precious metals we're gonna get out of this. I only see one potential left. Maybe two. No, that doesn't look good. So sometimes, well, all the time pretty much, you want to have a close look at these pearls. Yeah, nope. This one. See any words on it? All right, let me hit it with the loop. Nope, just brass. All right, so that wraps up everything we got in here. Just looks like some beads and no other potential gold or silver targets that I'm seeing. Maybe some of these wires, but it's hard to tell with those, and unless they say. So let's pull out the testing apparatus, shall we? All right, there we go. There we go. Two little bits that we didn't know if they were going to be silver or not. So let's hit them with some silver test solution. Boy, those are turning red, aren't they? Now, the other thing that my commenters have told me works better than this is to hit it with 18 karat, which makes it turn bright blue. I have observed what they're talking about with that. And I think, given how red both of those have gone, we're probably going to see it here. but maybe not. Oh, this one a bit. Not so much this one. All right, and then the other thing you can do here is hit it with that. And then check for red. I think we have silver in both cases. I'm definitely seeing red there. Seeing a little bit of red there. Yeah, a little bit of red. But we can always verify it again later. Maybe I can try this one more time. Here, try it one more time. Yeah, that's turning pretty red. Look at that. Which is what the acid's supposed to do. Let's dab it up with that. Oh yeah, look at how red that is right there. So, silver. So the question is, we paid $5 or $7.50, I can't remember, for this. Oh yeah, look at that. So yeah, this is just something somebody maybe started working on, didn't finish. It's a good example of the kind of silver you'll find in a thing like this, though. Let's see, did we get $5 worth of silver? I think the answer is probably going to be yeah. Silver, sterling's about $1 a gram right now. And that thing is 10 grams. And then this is sterling. Brings us up to another... And we're at 18 grams. And the rest of these pieces are mixed. Of course, I do think that the prize is the Goat-Dolphin with udders. That is something else, I gotta say. With that, I will wrap up this video. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. I will be continuing to open these things up. There are many of them. And we'll throw all this sterling into one location with all the gold, and maybe when we finish off all these, we'll do a wrap-up video and figure out how much of the stuff that we actually ended up pulling silver out of. I hope you have yourself a great day filled with going out and finding treasure.
Like this, I've been Thomas.